So, we are currently living through the most digitally connected but socially isolated era in human history. We daily trade comments and likes and text messages, but we're really starving for that true presence of one another. I want to look today at this legendary 85-year-old or 85-year study from Harvard on adult development. It's the beautiful neuroscience of biological synchrony, connection, and why true friendship isn't just a luxury, it really is a necessity for our survival and joy. So, good morning, precious people. Here we are together. It's another fresh day, and I'm so thankful for your irreplaceable light and the wisdom and experience that you bring into the world. Today is a gift filled with possibility. So let's open it with kindness and curiosity. And remember, we're still growing and learning. Let's check in with each other. Why don't you grab your nearest drink? Just share this moment with me. If you have something near you, let's just sip and enjoy it. Oh yeah. You yum. Yum, 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 yum. Did you love your sip? What did you sip? Hopefully something amazing. So, let's just take a breath. You ready? I'm feeling it already. Okay. I did my roller. I have this little neck thing that I lay my neck on the floor, and then I have this back roller thing. I feel good. I'm feeling good. Hopefully you feel great. I want everyone to feel wonderful. That's why we're working on our joy. So, all this week, we've been building these sanctuaries. One is through rituals like your joy of coffee, the joy of sleep, having this bubble of like quiet time that we can settle our thoughts. And then reading a good book, the joy of reading a good book we talked about yesterday. But humans are never designed to be isolated in our self-improvement. And I want to talk about today how you can have the joy of friendship. So, the joy of having friends. We can do all this work, be in silence. You can do your reading, have your little sips of coffee, sleep to boost your health. But there's something about coming together with other people that will take it to another level. So let's think about how we define connection today. You follow 100 people or hundreds of people online. You can see vacation photos. You can just, whatever your reaction is, text it real quick. And it feels like connection, but psychologically, it's kind of just a mirage. It lacks the warmth, the shared laughter, the eye contact, and really the emotional safety that comes with true friendship. The joy of a friend is really the feeling of being completely known. Sorry, I knew I was going to probably tear up on this part because it really is just so. Friendship is so near and dear and precious to me. The older I get, the more it is important. So anyway, the feeling of being completely known and entirely connected or accepted at exactly the same time. It's the unvarnished conversation at the dinner table. It's the shared story that requires no explanation. Because your history together, I just can't even describe it. Having a conversation and sharing a story with somebody who's known you, who knew you fell into a lake in a canoe, and when you're talking about canoes and you just have that underlying understanding of where that story is coming from. I don't know. It's profound, that the joy, the connection you get with these true friendships. It's realizing, oh, you feel this way? I do too. I'm not alone. And that kind of friendship doesn't happen through a screen. It happens in the messy, real-time, shared life that we go through. So science, what does science say? This 85-year-long Harvard study. It's breathtaking. When you sit across from a close friend, engage in deep conversation, your brains begin to develop this phenomenon called neural coupling, or brain entrainment, where your brainwave patterns, your heart rates, even like your pupil dilations, literally can mirror and synchronize with one another. You're literally on the same wavelength. This synchrony triggers a massive release of oxytocin, which is a bonding hormone, and endorphins, which suppress the production of cortisol, and it dampens your body's pain pathways. Do you ever just feel better after you're hanging out with your friend? There's a reason behind it, a scientific reason. And then if you want proof of how this impacts your actual lifespan, look no further than that Harvard study of adult development. It's the longest running longitudinal study of human happiness in history, tracking the exact same group over 85 years. When the researchers gathered almost a century of data, the conclusion was clear. It wasn't cholesterol levels, wealth, fame, genetics that predicted how healthy and happy these people would be into their 80s. It was the quality of their relationships. The people who were the most satisfied in their relationships at age 50 were the healthiest at age 80. Loneliness, this was concluded by the study, loneliness is as physically toxic to the body as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. So we're going to do everything we can to combat loneliness as we age. It'll help you stay healthy longer. So how do we put this into our life? How do we take some action? How do we protect our joy in an ultra busy world? The biggest mistake we make is treating friendship as something that just happened spontaneously. That's the way it did when we were kids. You could just be instant friends. But as adults, friendship requires intentional building. And I have found this out recently in the last few years. It requires what sociologists called propinquity. I don't know this word. Propinquity. It's repeated, unplanned physical interactions. So, to build deep relationships, you need to move past the casual, we should get coffee sometime. Then that rarely happens. Whenever you say, let's do that sometime, it doesn't happen. You have to move toward consistency. Consistently creating shared rituals that require zero weekly scheduling friction. So, I have to say how I've done this. I have a group of women I meet. Then we frequently go to one lady's house to do crafts. Another woman loves doing crafts too, so she'll have something else. I have a different group of friends in each one of those spaces. And then I like to create these meetups at Starbucks. So that's my thing that I've been doing for people. And I open it up to the whole group, but really it is just a core group of friends that make a plan to do it. And until it's on the calendar, it doesn't exist. You guys, if you want to make a routine, make those repeated interactions with people that this study is talking about, schedule it, put it out there, show up. It'll work out. It'll work. Just the deep friendships you can't even imagine unless you're in the middle of it. It's wonderful. And that's also what church does when you're interacting and working side by side with people at church. Those relationships deepen, and it's these relationships that are going to give you a healthy life. More suggestions here. So if you have a weekly morning walk, the monthly Friday night dinner, or this deliberate gathering of a small group at a local restaurant where the date is locked into the calendar permanently, if you remove that administrative friction, like the negotiating, and you just make it a standing date, that's when you create dependable, recurring spaces to be vulnerable and to create that friendship joy, the joy in friendships. You make a friendship a non-negotiable anchor for your week rather than just a leftover afterthought. Let's see what the Bible says. So, biological and psychological requirements for community mirror the way that God designs our soul. This cat, sorry, you just dropped something. You know how cats like to knock stuff down. Thank you, kitty. So the way God designed our soul like mirrors how we are in these community friendships. We're made in the image of God, and He's a relational God. So we cannot fully reflect His character in isolation. Proverbs 12:17 says, Iron sharpeneth iron, and one man sharpeneth another. So this sharpening, and we know just from sharpening knives, it requires contact, it requires friction, proximity. You cannot sharpen iron from a distance or through a superficial exchange like online. It happens when we allow trusted friends into our lives to challenge us, to encourage us, and to hold us accountable. You don't even know these things just happen with friendship. You don't even have to create this space for someone to hold you accountable. You become accountable when you're in constant contact and in a close relationship with somebody. So Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 also reminds us of the safety of community. Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up. You guys, this is just so sweet. I don't know. This just is touching me. True friendship is a safety net. It's tangible. It's a blood and flesh way that God pours His comfort, His laughter, and His grace into our lives. Oh my goodness, you guys. Friendship is this special gift that we're designed to inhabit. Anyway, bring it into your life. Bring those. If you're disconnecting from people, if you find yourself pushing people away, do what you can to work on that. Honestly, if you go to Facebook, you can find a women's group or a friend group or a Christian group in your area. Meetup, I know meetup.com. It might be called something else now. You can always find things. Facebook has events you can go attend with like-minded people. Okay, so since you're architecting your own space, your own happiness, your life, your calendar is a declaration of your values. When I look at my calendar, I'm seeing that craft here, lunch there, coffee date. So if your schedule is full entirely of just work and chores and digital tasks, but has no room for human connection, You're building a life of this efficient isolation, and it's going to be lacking in joy. It just is. If you just have task on your calendar and no real, like, take that lunch break and meet with a friend. You bring so much joy into your life. Have a coffee break with your bestie. Even even though I'm talking about digital texting and commenting and stuff, you can have, I've done this since I've been away from my best friend for so long. We do technically every couple of months. Boy, time goes by fast. It's probably more than a couple of months, where we will have a FaceTime. I don't have Apple, but I know it's called FaceTime. We do like a live video feed, a coffee date. It's because it's like you need that, and then you need those, like, to look at each other. I don't know what it is. So on top of that, weekly we have a group of us who send recorded videos back and forth to each other, asking what's going on in each other's life, explaining what happened this week, how we're feeling, what we're worried about, blessings, update on family, medical things. Like, we'll send these recorded videos back and forth to each other, just as a way to connect when you can't be in person. Because texting, it's something's missing when you're texting. Something's missing when you comment and like. It's that real human connection we all need that brings us joy. All right, homework. Right now, the moment this episode ends, open your phone. Do not scroll through a feed. Pick one friend who's been on your mind lately, someone you haven't sat across the table with for a while. Send them a text message that says exactly this: "Hey, you've been on my mind." No need to text back a long post or a long novel now, but let's lock in a date for lunch or coffee sometime next week. My treat. Then just set your phone down. So I guess what I'm saying is, as soon as this episode ends, get on your phone, find someone you haven't connected with in a while, and just say, I need to schedule a coffee date with you next week. Let's do it. My treat. So we can start building this bridge back in our community, especially if you find yourself isolating. It's going to take a lot of courage probably to do that, especially if you're an introvert or you're pretty shy. This might take a lot of courage to do, but I encourage you to do it. You can't regret it. It will not be, you won't regret it. It'll be great. Connect with that person. The Harvard Study of Adult Development. I've looked through this for a few different things that I research. This is like the gold standard of studies. This details so many different aspects that they were looking at for health and longevity. It's a big body of research you can look through. Let me see if I have a link to it. So it's called, the website is adultdevelopmentstudy.org. And you can look through there. They have some links to TED Talks. I thought they had articles on here, maybe somewhere. News, people contact, maybe the news. Ooh, second generation study. Wow. So they've already been on the second generation of people now. Neato. But, yeah. If anything I talked about today sparked a comment, please leave a like. What? Sparked a comment? But I don't have my paper. My cat's sitting on it. So just continue to grow and develop and become more of the wonderful person you are. I'm so happy you shared time with me today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and have a great weekend. Okay, just remember you're the Lord's precious ones. Bye-bye.